Not yet. Oh, we're live.
Now we are.
It's Soundbooth Theater Live. We're live.
Soundbooth Theater.
We're the
Soundbooth
show.
Theater.
We're
Soundbooth Theater.
live.
We're Soundbooth Theater. We do
Soundbooth
live
Theater.
things.
Soundbooth Theater. Soundbooth stuff. Banter, 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 banter. Banter. Soundbooth banter. Banter, banter, soundbooth.
Soundbooth banter.
And
Theater.
banter out.
Blocks with the wood blocks. You know, cluck, 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 cluck. You heard that in the theme. I'm just shouting out things I hear. Now, I think that's what this show's devolved into.
Can we say revolve? Is revolve a thing? Oh, that's, I guess, like revolving. Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, it's a thing, but
revolving is a thing, but not today.
That's not for purposes of what he meant, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I was just trying to do a new fancy evolve.
Ah, I see. I see.
Screvolve. No. Okay.
No.
We'll get there.
We'll find something. Thank you for coming, everybody. Welcome to Soundbooth Theater Live. I think we're running a skeleton crew today. Is that right? It's just the three of us. All right.
Annie's under the weather.
Which is fine. Oh, Annie's not feeling good.
She might pop in during the movie discussion, though.
Okay. All right.
She said, and I quote, "I watched that stupid movie."
Oh, nice.
So that tells me what she thinks about it.
Well, that's awesome. I would love to hear her opinion on how she doesn't like that movie.
She wants us to text her before we start.
Unless she does like the movie, and
she just
she's calling it stupid.
Could be.
You know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I can agree with that.
I feel like knowing Annie, the time that I've known her, I feel like she meant it.
She might have. We'll see.
I'll
see.
try
I'm
to
curious.
message her before we're ready to start.
Yes, please.
Okay.
We are talking about Robocop today. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and lay out what the structure of the show will be today. Right now is news, or shortly after I tell you what the recap, The news is we're doing a show right now, and that show is going to consist of, number one, a new episode of Pirates of New Phantasia by Miss Sara King. Right after that, we are going to the cinema. And then right after that, we have 2 troll polls to do. Is that right?
No, just the one.
Well, because last time we did a troll poll, we kicked the other one down.
Oh,
down the
right.
road.
So that's. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I actually didn't even check if we had another one in the Facebook thing. I just realized I was just assuming we were going to do last week's, but let me check now. I don't know. Was there another poll, guys? I don't know. I'll look for it.
Yeah. So, someone asked if we were talking about the RoboCop 2013. Of course
The original.
not.
No.
Of course we would not do something scandalous like review that movie.
I enjoyed that movie. Thank you.
Huh?
Yes, let's. Yeah, well, I'm gonna save it. I don't want to talk.
Okay. All right. We're getting ahead of
If you guys
ourselves.
did watch that movie, I'd
me on.
love to hear whatever the.
It's been
comparison and
years.
contrast
It's
is.
been years. And I only saw it once or twice.
Okay, and so that will be our show. We'll have 2 troll polls at the end. Relatively shorter show today, I think, but that's not a bad thing. And then the news for today, Chrysalis 3 just released, released today. And it made me sad because if I had known that today was the Chrysalis release, then I would have said, "Hey, let's review a movie
About
based around
ants.
And I would have said, "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids."
That's what I was going to say. I had a feeling you were going to say that, yes. Or there's also the movie Ants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
A-N-T-Z.
yeah.
Yep. But my
not
first thought was Honey, I
Ant-Man.
Shrunk the
Not Ant-Man.
Oh, that one didn't even occur to me.
No.
Not even. Yeah.
No, it would have been Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because I feel like Ants is too good of a movie to review. I really like that
What's
movie.
wrong with reviewing good movies, Joe?
It's not that
You just want to put us through the misery
If it's
of
not
watching
scandalous,
bad movies?
it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not much to talk about. It's just like, yeah, this movie's good.
That was good.
What?
We liked it. We all liked it.
It's not much to talk about. And A Bug's Life would be. I was surprised because both of those movies came out at the same time, and I assumed the Pixar movie was gonna be like the name brand movie of the two. and I was pleasantly surprised that Ants was a much better movie. Anyway, so Chrysalis 3 just
interesting.
released today. So go pick that up if you haven't picked up. If you have picked up the first two. If you haven't picked up the first two, I'm sure you're gonna love it. We won an award for it. Annie and I did, and it was Best Comedic Audiobook Narrator Performance.
And you guys went up against.
And we beat fucking
Ants.
I know.
Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks.
Yeah, I was
We beat Mel Brooks.
I forgot to.
Which I don't
Yeah.
know.
For some reason, I always want to
Is that
start
really
his name with a
saying
W.
something?
Well, I mean, I assumed it was going to go to
He's
him
really
just
old.
because.
He's really old, but he's like one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet. Like,
No, I know, but
what are you gonna
the
do?
book that he came out with, that was a newer one, right? That was like
Wasn't
Yeah,
it
it
a
was just-
biography?
I think it was his autobiography,
Autobiography?
maybe. Which I'm sure his life was hilarious. So, you know,
yeah, he made a lot of bangers.
I feel like that is the biggest accomplishment we could have achieved for that audiobook.
Yeah,
So
that was awesome.
go check out why we won that award. Chrysalis 2, and now Chrysalis 3, all out, and all very good deals on Audible because they're all at least 15 hours long, I think. And let's see, our other news, Earth Force sale just ended. So did our Eternal Dominion sale. Those are both gone. So you guys missed out. How dare you?
Yeah, but if you want to hear Earth Force 3, it's playing right now on SBT Radio on the
Right,
Discord
SBT Radio. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know about SBT Radio, just go join our Discord server, find SBT Radio. You will see that we have things from our platform constantly streaming for you guys to listen to for free. And if you like it, then you go buy it so that you can listen to it on your own time, whenever you
And
want.
hopefully soon we'll have like a nice schedule set up.
Frank Mora just asked, so when is next Chrysalis book recording? I don't know.
There's
I don't
another
know. I have-
Chrysalis book?
There's plenty.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, there's plenty.
Wait, seriously?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought there was only 3 books.
Book 4 hasn't released on Kindle yet, but there's
Oh.
more than 1 million words of that story on Royal Road.
Oh, this okay. This is
yeah.
one of the Royal Road ones. All right.
Yep. So, yeah, if you guys didn't know about SBT Radio, go to our Discord server. You can listen to a bunch of stuff. Whatever's playing, you can listen to it for free. Oh, Silent Striker says he's listening to Earth Force. Thank you so much for listening. Really glad to have the audiobook of that series finished, but we still have the cinematic to work on for later this summer. So watch out. That will be coming later.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
see,
this
what
is
else?
like our sci-fi series. This is like our Star Trek. This is like
Yeah.
our Star Wars.
Exactly.
So if you didn't, if that wasn't clear before, it's actually, we work very hard. It's a labor of love, and you know, we work very hard to make it sound and feel like a cinematic experience.
Yep. Written by Shemer Kuznets, the author of Life Reset, of course, for any of you who are fans coming from that series. And Earth Force is just. I'm really looking forward to finishing it this summer because we'll have a complete trilogy. So much content, for just the one series, and we don't have that much stuff like that on our platform right now. Speaking of Eternal Dominion, I think we're at 9 books on the platform. Book 10 is
Yeah.
coming out next month.
Yeah.
There's so many of those
I
too.
There's a lot.
so.
They're about $5 a piece on our platform. If you go to Audible, they're a credit a piece. So clearly, you want to come to our website and buy it from us for $5 a piece. Each one is at least 5 hours long.
Yeah,
and
they're like
there's
little,
yeah,
like
and
harem
and
biscuits. Harem
right,
biscuits.
harem biscuits. Yes, Eternal Dominion is a gamelet / harem / regression fantasy. For those of you who don't know, regression fantasies are basically if you get to do it over again type of fantasies, and that's become pretty popular lately. I'm actually narrating one. Oh no, I just finished narrating one today called A Summoner Awakens by Kerberos. That is up for pre-order on Amazon right now. It's due to release on June 13th. But I think we'll be able to release simultaneously on audio. And that has been a big pain in my ass, that particular audiobook, because it's so, I narrated it basically the author asked me to take inspiration from Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders. And so I've been narrating with that accent, with that, basically just doing a Cillian Murphy impression. And it's been a pain in my ass, and it's been very gratifying. I absolutely love it. I'm really excited for this one to come out because, I don't know, I think it's some of my best work. So looking forward to that one coming out. Last piece of news, tomorrow, Small Chester Find 2 Chapter 4 releases.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, and that will mark more than the halfway point of the series. We'll have 3 more chapters after that. And it was for Small Chester Find 2 that we decided to do a review of Robocop.
Yes.
That will be happening right after our Pirates of New
reason.
Phantasia.
They're
Because
exactly
it's
the
it's an
same.
identical story.
They're exactly the same.
Pretty much identical. So, all right.
And
any more?
the free Tales short that was published
Right.
yesterday.
And that was yesterday. Tales from the
Yes.
Battered Mind, another piece of Sarah King fiction, short story. This one was narrated by none other than Dalton Lynn herself here.
No,
And,
glacial melt.
Yeah, Glacial Melt, and Justin Thomas James was her backup on this one. So please go
He
check
was
that one out. It's
creepy.
free. It's free, and the whole anthology is still free. So go pick it up, guys. And Goddess loved it. Already listened to it. And then last week, speaking of Sarah King, she's very much in the news right now. Speaking of Sarah King, last week we released another Zero short story. That one is called something at the Wildlife Preserve. What is
Opening night at the Naturals Preserve.
it called? Opening night at the Naturals.
Oh.
Preserve.
Naturals or natural?
Naturals.
Naturals Preserve.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
That
Sarah
one
will
is
correct
just
us in a moment.
$1.
Yeah, she
Narrated
probably
by
will.
Justin. He didn't have anybody backing him
Natural
up on that one, did
Preserve.
he?
No, he did not.
Right. All right, so go check that one out. Just $1. And last bit of news, Friday. Friday, I start narrating Zero Book 3. That's Zero's Return. That's the from the Legend of Zero series, which we have many titles on our platform of now. I mean, Sarah right now, audio-wise, is exclusive to our platform, and everything that she writes is worth picking up.
Devtron wants
I
to
gotta
know
be
if we're gonna do more cold reads.
Of course, that's Friday when I'm
That's what we
doing
call
book
'em.
3. Book 3 of The Legend of Zero. I'm starting the cold read then. So, yeah. Really looking forward to that one. I've been dying to get back to the series because I really love the characters that Sarah has set up in this particular series. We are starting, let's see, Annie is narrating Vampire Queen 2 right now. So that will be coming out not too long from now. We got tons of Sarah King
Sarah
stuff
time.
coming all year. So don't even worry about that, guys. You're not going to run out of Sarah King anytime soon when it comes to audio. Anyway, speaking of, let's get some pirates going. Pirates of New Phantasia, episode 6. And I'm going to have to be the whole cast today.
Poor Jeff. I know. And you just got over being sick.
I know. It's okay. All right.
Hang on, let me.
Green
let me
room.
Just, oh, you got it.
Sin wants the green room. Here we go. All right.
Oh wait, I think I
yeah.
want to do a
Go
thing
back to the
too.
top. Yeah,
There
yeah.
we go.
All right, go on up to the top of this damn script. We got a good show. Sorry. I just watched one of their videos this morning that killed me. Oh my god, those guys.
Wait,
are
who's?
the Hodge twins. Got a
Hodge
good
twins. Is that something I
show.
gotta look up now?
They're
Hodge
YouTubers.
twins.
The Hodge twins.
Oh.
All right. Pirates of New Phantasia, episode 6, Warplex, written by a fucking badass. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suck it, Jeff and Ahmed. California can't touch this. USA 555. Go fuck yourself. All right. Interior, underground, in a massive, dripping cave. 3 scruffy explorers are hanging by ropes overhead, grunting as they attempt to scale down the wall into the pillar of light below. On the floor of the cave, standing in the light room, light from above, a young boy without ropes is making a face and looking around at moldy treasures and forgotten pottery. Overhead, jungle sounds ring from the canopy through a tiny skylight to dappled sunlight above. You could have levitated all of us down here.
I figured you baboons could struggle on ropes for a couple hours as penance. I can't believe you thought we'd get away with that. You'd get away with that, peasants.
Turning all our shit into copper wasn't cool, Yami. Alex can't fly, and Rose is still mourning Patrick. That gun meant everything to her.
And maybe, someday, I will change it back. Once you shit-flinging beer drinkers learn the proper respect. Seriously? Rose hasn't been the same for weeks. You really need to apologize. It wasn't her idea to lie to you about ruthenium. I will receive 5 apologies before I even consider returning her weapons to their proper form.
I apologize for lying to you, to trick you into making us ruthenium, Yami. There was no need for anyone to do that. We were cruel and heartless and
From important people? You're just a used sheet caught on the fin of the spaceship, clinging on for dear life. Is that why you left Banker's bed alone and turned the rest of them to copper? Because he's just following the rest of us? Of course, he's just a loser. Lost and wandering the dunes of time, clearly having no will of his own. As such, I can't fault him for being a camel tied to the arse of his superiors. Can't really argue with that. How much loot we got down here, Banker?
Not enough. Everything is moldy and tattered. Ugh, look at these tapestries. Easily worth a spaceship had they been in pristine condition. Now they're just stacks of rotten cloth. The humidity destroyed it all. Same with the weaponry. The only thing salvageable down here will be made of a noble metal like gold or osmium.
You're letting us keep anything made of osmium, right, Yami? It's just ruthenium you've got a vendetta against? I've got a vendetta against small-minded muck-draggers who forget that I alone saved my people from an AI apocalypse for over 300 years. Man, I'm not seeing anything metal. I thought you said this place would have some good loot, Yami. This is just rotten and rusted shit. While I would be more than happy to watch you 3 scavengers pour through moldy rubbish for a few hours in despair, this is just the antechamber. The main storage facility is in the back, behind this secret door. There's a secret door? Cool! We were fighting AI with the ability to infiltrate our ranks like changing suits. Of course there are secret doors.
Oh my goodness! Look at that! Yami? You never said this was a treasury.
It's not. It was a weapons storage facility.
I'm seeing lots of bars of gold, Yami.
Gold carries a lot of mass and is useful when transmuting into other things like weapons and ammunition. It's convenient. So is lead, but the more advanced transmuters with gold go with gold because it's prettier and doesn't oxidize.
I thought you said you didn't want us to be rich.
I said I didn't want to be responsible for your primordial climb out of poverty. Someone else made this shit. It was just a supply depot.
So, if we spend the next 8 hours hiking bars of gold out of here, you aren't going to, turn them into copper once we all get back on the ship, are you?
Depends. Come on, Yami. Apologies are good for the soul, Trevor.
Look, we're really sorry we tricked you like that. It wasn't nice, and you didn't deserve it.
That's 1 out of 5. 4 more to go.
All right, everybody, let's get packing. God, these bricks are heavy. What is this, like £150?
About that. The logistics guys wanted them in standard sizes and weights so they could crunch numbers and pack them for transport. I didn't really care. I just did what they told me to do.
How come you don't do what we tell you to do?
I'm sorry, are you somehow involved in the desperate struggle for the survival of the human race at the very verge of its extinction against an AI plague? Or are you just looking at buying platinum-threaded napkins and gold-flecked seltzer water for your morning mojitos?
Hey, those napkins were cool.
Anyway, I'll sit over here while you Neanderthals lug that shit up to the top. I told you I'd bring you here, not carrying anything.
Okay, Banker, grab the other side of that one. We should be able to carry one between the two of us. If we could find a way to rig it, I think we could get Marty to pull up 7 or 8 bars at a time, even with that, copper leg. Yep.
We've got a problem, Captain. Incoming ship. Trying to stay off scans. Succeeding, for the most part. Got some scrambler tech, makes their ship register as migrating waterfowl, but I can read between the lines.
Oh, that is so not good.
You're telling me I'm currently waddling around in a copper-feathered parrot, using copper ship's cannons, taking observations with copper instruments, looking at a depressed infiltrator as literally half a block of copper. You dumb fucker! I told you he'd figure it out after you started buying osmium hats to show off to whores.
Okay. What about Rose?
Rose? Are you kidding about Rose right now? She hasn't left her room in a week. I'm not sure she's even eating anything anymore. He killed her best friend when he murdered that gun.
We need Rose. Can you get her on the line, please?
Trevor, these guys are landing right beside the ship, and there isn't a damn thing I can do about it. If I try to fire artillery from copper cannons, the barrels are going to explode before the shells even leave the ship. Shit.
Okay, get the ship out of here. Make like it was just a quick stop to take a piss or something, and then fly away.
Yeah. Like people stop spaceships with fully equipped bathrooms to land in the jungle and piss on a tree. Great idea, monkey.
Seriously, don't let them take over our ship. We've got Yami. We can deal with this.
Fuck. Fine. But I'm warning you, Captain. You don't let Yami get out of your sight. You get me? I know he's a pain in all our asses, but he's very important to the survival of...
Okay, thanks, Alex. Listen up, everyone. We've got incoming pirates, probably scavengers, that got a whiff of our score at the last dock. Everyone up the ropes and get ready to rumble.
How? All our guns are made of copper.
I don't know, Louise. Just look badass or something. They haven't landed yet. Maybe it's just a coincidence and they're just passing over. What did Alex say about the type of ship? He didn't. Something about scramblers. Scramblers that make the ship look like a flock of Yordek geese? Yeah, something like that. Yami, we're really gonna need you to not be an uppity little fuck right now, okay? All our weapons are out of commission, thank you very much, and there's a good chance we're about to be in a fight for our lives.
And why should I care about that? The deaths of thieves are like the deaths of ants to me.
Oh, Jesus, okay. Banker, Louise, get up the ropes. We don't want to get caught down here while... Well. We got ourselves a regular party down there, don't we, boys? Fuck. They're pulling up the ropes. Guys, listen to me really carefully. They're here for Yami. I can get us out of here alive, but only if you guys do absolutely everything I say. Yami, don't try to use your powers on them, okay?
I'm not to be commanded by a shit-covered sewer rat. Trevor, they've got jetpacks. What kind of scavengers have jetpacks, Trev? I don't even recognize that technology.
Oh, yeah. You want to fill them in, Andrew? Go fuck yourself, Calhoun. Calhoun? What the fuck is going on? Who are you guys? Oh, never mind. You wouldn't remember it anyway. Is the kid a match?
Yep. It's the one we've been looking for.
Oh, good. About fucking time. Time to show us your tricks, little boy.
Ow! You rat fucking spawn of demented cat piss! How dare you lay a hand on me?
No, Yomi. Don't use your powers on...
Your ancestors will tremble in their rotten husks for marring the skin of royalty. Sandstick, your buck-toothed mother will feel my wrath as I...
Damn it. Shit! Yami? Why is he collapsing? You guys better back off. We've got guns. Ooh, guns. I'm so terrified right now. Too bad they're made entirely of copper and would just as likely explode in your hand as force out a projectile. In fact, every weapon on your body registers as 100% fine copper. Let me guess. Our friend on the floor had a tantrum. Captain, duck! Louise, hit him with the poison darts! Ugh! Wait, did you just throw that 150-pound gold bar like a football? Oh! Fuck! Did you have to go for the head, Andrew? It's going to take minutes for me to repair the damage. And what is that, little girl? Lemon juice?
Captain, half his head is on the floor and he's still getting back to his feet.
Get in the secret room. It's AI-proof. They won't be able to get in without a psychic scan of their credentials. AI? Who the fuck are... Ugh. Everyone get down! I've got to lock the door! Oh, fuck. Andrew, don't you dare... We both know I've got the upper hand here, Andrew. We've got the greeter. I'm going to kill him properly this time. You're trapped in a box with a couple chump humans and no way to power up once they're dead. You're fucked. And I've got the book. You remodeled Spare Change. On you? You really think I'd leave it on the ship? So it's on the ship that just flew away in some ham-fisted attempt at subterfuge. You were always a reckless bumbler. Scree thought you might have taken the book. How did you get it away from Cassivar? She hates your guts for outing us to the Crusade. Fuck off, Calhoun. I'm not telling you where it is. What do you have against your own kind, Andrew? I'm not fond of viruses. They don't really serve much purpose if you think about it. Marianth, it's your turn to absorb one of these self-righteous fucks, if I remember correctly. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
Great. Kill the greeter, take his power, charge up with his essence, yada yada. And please do it before the annoying shit can wake up and make another time bubble. God, those things are annoying. And Andrew, just to make you feel better, you can sleep tonight knowing we'll be relieving the rest of your crew of the book and heading back to the ceremony site to rekindle that virus you hate so much as you sit here and rot. What the fuck did you think you were doing, locking yourself in a chamber with an automatic barrier against AI? You inconceivably stupid fuck. First outing us to the Crusade, then stealing that fucking book, then taking the side of the Dawn. I always have questioned your loyalties. Now I know for sure. Marianth, that's Androcca Yamix. We know it's Androcca. Marianth, if you try to absorb him without the proper codes, you'll just kill both of you. Calhoun's just trying to get you out of the picture. Whittle us down until he's the only one left. Think about it. It's Androcca. No one's stupid enough to try to absorb him. Not even when we were at war. We're still at war, you irritatingly plucky idealist.
Androcca should die like the rest. Right, sir?
He won't. He bubbled himself for 4,000 years without a break. You don't think he can control his mind while he's unconscious?
Sir?
Look, you already got all the others. You don't need the kid. You need that book. Let's trade.
No. Goodbye, Andrew. I might come back in a couple millennia to have a chat or something, but maybe not. I don't really like you that much. Cassiva was your only real ally left, and the grapevine says you killed her on that dino planet pretending it was a tyrannosaur. You always were a backstabby fuck. Ta-ta!
He's the last one left. You can't kill him until you know for sure. Banker, how did you get that old keypad to pop out of the wall like that? What are you doing? You kill him, Calhoun, and if they release the Dawn afterwards, you're gonna be killing us all! Everyone! Boom! Dead! He's the only thing stopping it!
Yeah, well, I'm not really concerned with these inbred, barely spacefaring monkeys releasing the... Do I... Oh, what is that? Oh, do I hear a klaxon alarm? Oh, no. Oh, fuck you. Did you just trigger the Dawn Defense Protocol, you irrational fuck?
If there was anyone, anywhere within range of one of the other planetary defense depots, they're going to be carrying the Dawn when they leave this planet.
I can't fucking believe this. Really? You just released the Dawn on purpose? We spent 4,000 years in hiding, waiting for this moment to finally get rid of these greaser fucks, and you just set it free? If you weren't behind that fucking wall, I'd give you that fight you wanted 7 centuries ago, you flesh-eating prick!
Who do you think released the Dawn last time, Calhoun?
Yeah. Oh, I am so going to come back here with some mining equipment and rip off your head and feed it to a compactor. Fuck! You're the saboteur! Not that dick Jebbish we killed a few millennia ago? No fucking wonder you were always off doing reconnaissance, you backstabbing fuck! Scree was right the whole time!
Don't kill him, Calhoun.
Well, now I can't! Can I? Ugh! Again! 4,000 years, and he does it again. What's the definition of insanity, you stupid fuck?
Don't kill Androcka and you might survive.
Ugh! Just stay in there and rot. Fuck. No, don't absorb him. Now we need him. Fuck! Drag the little ship back to the ship. We're gonna go hunt down the dervish. Whoever the pilot is a goddamn small-brained cretin if he thinks we'd fall for a just stopped to take a piss act. We'll have that book in no time. Go! Yes, sir. And Andrew, the next time I see you, I'll ensure you won't be getting absorbed. Not by anyone. You will slide back into your base elements and release your energies into the universe itself, never to hold consciousness again.
That's against the law. Even for criminals.
You're beyond criminality now, Andrew. You're dead to all of us. Get the greeter back to the surface. Let's go.
They're gone. Okay, quick. Captain, I have a few things to Ow! Fuck! Why'd you hit me? I don't know who you are, or what you're doing, or why. But I do know you fucking lied to me, and now my entire fucking crew is going to die! Not exactly. See, we've got this. Oh, is that the book the Baroness was bitching about right before the T-Rex ate her? It's not a book, exactly. It's more of a key to reawakening the Manganine Warplex using a Don Greta's focus. Cassiva was holding on to it, because as much as she hates the humans, she hates the Warplex more.
You said the Warplex was dead, Banker.
It is, kind of. There are survivors.
What kind of survivors?
The kind that gave up on the war a long time ago, and the kind that still want to exterminate humanity. Except they've expanded that to this new crop of primitive AI life forms as well.
Are you saying
The crusade is puppeted by survivors of the manganine, yes.
Because you're...
Probably going to be trapped in here a very, very long time.
Because you're...
A machine.
And you just sicked 4 other machines on Alex, Rose, and Marty.
I have a lot of confidence in Alex. The artificial awakening this time put more effort into producing and maintaining creative intelligence, thought patterns over sheer physical force and assimilation.
But Alex is trapped in a bird that can't fly. One of Marty's legs is a hunk of copper, and Rose has no guns.
Let's hope they can handle themselves.
Boom!
All right. We find out that Banker Jim is not who he said he was. Very interesting. Another twist. AI. Another robot.
cliffhanger.
Another one. So let's, I guess, in 2 weeks, we find out how they get out. Or how they don't. I don't know. Pretty good. Had fun with that one. I really like doing English bad guys. So when she said,
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I hardly missed Annie because your accent was like basically mimicking hers, and at times you were totally trying to mimic Justin's performance. That's
You
fun.
hardly missed
Very
her.
good.
Don't say that.
how
Don't
dare
say
you
that about Annie. I'm gonna say as soon as she gets here, if she shows up,
I just
I'm
he
gonna say
sounded
he
so
didn't
much
miss
like
you.
her. I just felt like he did a good job with. He did a good job with the accent. What was it? What's she called?
I tried.
Mr. J.
Mr. J!
Dude, okay, so the funny thing is, that accent is not easy to do in between a bunch of Brits. Right? I had Cockney going on, I had the regular English going on, and then between them I had her, and it was just like,
You
You
did
did good
very
with the
well,
mental
man.
gear shifting.
Well done. It's funny because
You
you were
are a
like in
one-man
rehearsal,
show, Jeff.
you were kind of like, you were having a hard time, and then you came on, and it was like, you just did the whole thing like no errors. It was like, this isn't what we rehearsed. Like, who is this guy? That was funny. That was a professional.
It's because of the rehearsal. It's because of the rehearsal. That's why. Oh, speaking of, she came just in time.
I texted her.
Oh wow! All right. I did that. You down? Hey!
Sorry.
You're back in
not
here,
my job.
Annie.
Hey.
Ahmed said he didn't miss
Annie.
you. Ahmed said he did not miss you.
Ahmed.
It's totally true.
I'm totally teasing.
It's totally true. No, he did a great Louise. We needed you for Louise, and he did a good substitute Louise.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he sounded just like.
Hi guys, I'm Annie! I'm Annie Ellicott. I'm a voice. Hi guys! I haven't been feeling well, so I just came here for the movie segment.
I thought that was Jeff for a second. I was.
I'm Annie
Jeff
too now,
now,
Mr. J.
and I thought it was Jeff. Very good, Annie.
You did a good impression of me doing an impression of you.
Yeah, you did.
That's what separates the professionals from the novices.
Right, exactly.
I missed you guys too.
So, we have a cinema here.
I'm talking to the people who missed me, Ahmed.
Yeah, I'm aware. I can see the messages too.
So we watched.
So, Annie
watched a
called this a
classic.
stupid movie.
Well, look at it.
Well, I think Annie should start.
I agree.
So
Go ahead,
I
Annie.
can totally
Take it
make
away.
her feel bad about
my
it
favorite
later.
part is it's around the 105 timestamp.
1 minute and 5
What was
seconds.
happening?
1 hour.
One
hour.
hour and
Yeah,
5
yeah,
minutes
yeah.
timestamp.
That was-
There's a big cacophony of people getting shot up, and there's this one dude that falls from a ledge, and he's like, ah, like
Good.
The
Really
sound,
good efforts. Really good
the
efforts.
the effort sound there was like it made the whole movie worth watching.
Oh my gosh.
If I were more savvy, I would have like found it and extracted a sound bite.
Well,
But
I rented it, and I think maybe my well, it doesn't matter. I'm not
I
gonna
watched
be
it
able
on
to display
Freevee. I wonder if there's like a full version of it,
It was
on
on.
YouTube.
It was on. Oh shoot, we have.
It was on
we had-
Amazon for just $1.
It was
to
on, I
rent.
watched it on Tubi, so I guess
Yeah,
we
it
all
was
had a
on
different-
Tubi. I think we have a copy of it on
I don't
Vudu.
mind watching Freevee. I just mute it when the commercials go on and
Yeah,
zone
same.
out.
Same.
Yeah, totally can't deal with that.
Do something else. Check emails. Just
Yeah.
anything else. I can't. I've
I
been saturated
I
with ads
gaze
all
at
my
my
life,
cat.
and now I can't.
I'm like,
Oh,
kitty
that's-
break.
That's a good. Yeah, good idea.
Speaking of kitties,
I didn't even realize this guy didn't have an actual like. He's just the old man.
Oh yeah, I
The
didn't
old
realize that
man.
either.
Huh.
Interesting.
So yes, Annie, you go first.
Yeah,
you go first.
you go
Well,
first.
I
Besides that amazing part that you were just talking about.
it is a stupid movie. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's purposefully over the top, right? Like everything like is so gratuitous. Like the part where the guy falls into the toxic waste.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then he's like alive.
Oh, yeah, that
for
was
like
nasty.
several more minutes, just like.
and then he gets that was
Love that part.
so good.
I don't know why nobody aimed for his face when they were shooting at him.
Oh, that's cheating.
Well, he did get
some
messed
people
up.
Did.
He
Some
did
people
get-
His thing was cracked.
Yeah.
His helmet was, they
Yeah, but
tried.
it was in the
to-
face. He still had armor, right?
Yeah. I also don't know why he didn't when he finally remembered his wife and son. I don't know why his like number one priority wasn't to track them down immediately. But he did probably have some brain damage and was
Because he's a
operating
monster.
under other driving factors. It's a stupid fucking movie because it's just so gratuitously violent and ridiculous, and you learn nothing. It's just I shouldn't say you learn nothing. You could learn a lot about filmmaking from watching this.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've picked up on some morals, so.
You picked up on some morals. Okay,
I
good.
picked
Well,
up on some,
I'm gonna let you take it away, Jeff.
All right.
So, yeah, I really love this movie. So I think if you're actually gonna read into it and like get any messages or whatever, it's basically just corporations plus government
Exactly. That
equals
was a commentary
equals
on that.
the
Sure.
worst possible scenario, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
The worst
and-
possible of all worlds.
So
Yeah.
so when they had I'm not a I like the idea of policing. I like the idea of keeping order. I don't like the way it's done. However, clearly there's plenty of problems with the job as a policeman, right? But as soon as you bring in OCP, right, the corporation who starts, feeding them military-grade solutions to their problems, everything goes overboard. Everything, becomes this fucking crazy, gratuitous mess. And I think Robocop himself is like right at the center where it's like, okay, you're taking this well-meaning, good rookie cop, which, by the way, both the Alex Murphy and Ann Lewis are maybe the worst cops ever. When they get killed,
Yes.
when
Yes.
when
Yes.
they go into that factory,
Yes.
every single movement that
Every
they did,
fucking stupid thing.
every little thing they
and
did
also,
was
like,
idiotic.
When he becomes RoboCop, like,
Just
why
like
does
real
he
cops.
stand there for like 20 seconds letting people shoot him before he starts to like move around?
Because the costume, I'm sure, was very difficult to move.
He's not used to getting shot. I don't know. That's a
You
good
mean when he
no, that
first
was
came
the movie
online,
Magic
when
you
he
were
first
talking
went
about
on duty?
earlier.
Just like the whole
No.
time, like the whole time
No,
he's
just whenever he got
RoboCop.
shot.
Yeah, whenever he got shot, he like there was this long period of time where just bullets were hitting him, and he was just like,
Yeah, that's that titanium. Titanium.
interesting. They're shooting at me.
Oh,
But-
I'm
but-
going to defend myself.
Yeah.
I shouldn't give him so much shit. It's impressive. It's still
You
impressive
gotta love his
that he
Marceau.
has some kind of brain activity at all, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I was
so,
impressed
are we
by
doing
his.
spoilers?
Yes.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
you guys, spoilers everywhere.
Yeah, we
this
got to
is
do spoilers.
A movie
this is
from
an
the
old
80s.
movie.
Okay. So the part where the guy's like, "You're fired," and then like immediately the
Thank you.
The
Yeah.
Robocop was like, yeah.
immediately the fourth what's it called?
Directive.
The fourth directive just vanishes like somehow like that. like,
Well, because he's no longer.
He stopped being.
I
no longer
know, I know, but doesn't that need to be like programmed into something, or it's just like
It was programmed in when he wasn't part of it anymore. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
that was it
So-
for him.
So
Yeah.
what I meant by the Peter.
I did like that part though.
What I meant by Alex Murphy is a good cop. I mean, at heart, right?
He means well.
He means well,
Yes.
but they are clearly the worst, most untrained cops ever.
Well, he was the John Doe, right? Like in the end, he was
was-
their guinea pig. He had to be bad at his job to become the guinea pig.
right. Like, why did they run in there when they were outnumbered 5-1? You know, and they have Glocks.
Did they even
think.
know who was in the place when they first
Yeah,
ran in?
I think
I
so.
couldn't. Yeah, it took me a few days to watch
chasing him
this.
down.
Actually, maybe
They're
not.
chasing
Maybe
him
not
down.
because
I thought
were-
they just kind of went
they,
in,
like-
and that's what they encountered.
I mean,
No, they got a call.
they got a call. They found them on
followed
the
it
highway.
up, and then, but then,
Yeah.
you know, I love this. This is my favorite line of like any cop drama. It's like, backup. There's no backup. What do we do? It's like, go home. Movie over. There's no backup, right? I don't. And then there's no backup, but we have to save the neighborhood. It's like, no.
But they're in an industrial.
The
shithole.
neighborhood was.
I know, they weren't even
Anyway.
in the neighborhood. They were in a fact. That's an even better point. Like, absolutely the worst place you could ever go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think Alex Murphy is second worst cop only to Ann Lewis, who is his partner.
Yes.
She was
She
shockingly
looked
bad.
at the
Like,
dude's penis.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, she was. She
Come
wanted to make
on.
sure. She wanted to make sure because I thought about this a lot, and I've seen
Even
this movie
I
a lot.
wouldn't look at the dude's penis in that scenario.
Even I. You're the example.
Of all people.
It's like I'm always looking at the
yeah,
dude's
just
penis.
chant. Don't
but
look down.
this
Don't
time-
look down. Don't
Speaking,
look at it.
speaking of that, you guys, there was
And I
a
wouldn't have
video that someone wanted me to react to. It was like a RoboCop like thing. So you know the scene where these people are getting ready to attack or rape this girl, and he comes and saves her, and he shoots
Yeah.
between. Okay,
Yeah.
Yes.
So the scene is that, okay?
Uh-huh.
But then along come another group of guys trying to rape a woman.
Oh,
And
that was
so,
very funny.
Yeah. So, but then
That
it
was
keeps going and
very
keeps
funny.
going. This is like the parody. Have you
I've
seen that?
Yeah,
I have
I've
not.
And he,
seen
I
it.
have
It's
and he
incredible.
keeps shooting them.
No
He
more.
keeps
No more.
shooting them.
No more
crotch.
spoilers.
No,
I
no,
have
don't,
to see
don't.
this.
Yeah. No,
I
this
have
is
to see
incredible.
Okay,
You just have
all
to
right.
find it on YouTube.
Okay, I'll find it.
Find
I'll
it
find
in
it
the link.
because
No,
this
he
is
can
one
find
of
it.
the.
It's on YouTube. I'm
This is
sure.
one of the few reaction videos that I did that I refused to put up on my
It was.
channel.
It was
Like
incredible.
I'm not. Even when it was, I'm like, I'm not gonna upload this. I'm
Thank
not
you for
doing it.
reminding me about that.
I want to see this. This sounds.
It's basically he does that.
pure gold.
It's
It's that
beautiful.
scene
It's
times a
absolutely
1,000.
beautiful. It's absolutely
Okay.
beautiful.
Oh
yeah,
my
he just
gosh.
goes from. It's like
Okay,
it just gets.
Okay,
it
Jeff
just gets
doesn't
worse
want to
and
know. Jeff doesn't want to know.
That was
so,
Don't tell me,
that
don't
was
tell
a
me, I wanna
great
see it.
scene though. Like this is yeah. So anyway, so Jeff, continue. Please.
So Alex Murphy is, like you said, he's the guinea pig. They basically send him out there to get butchered so that they can experiment on him. And then he is the product of the conflict between OCP, right, the corporation who's just trying to make a buck and use policing as their laboratory to sell bigger and badder weapons to the military.
right,
And then
which they say explicitly.
and he's also up against the actual desire to be a good cop, right? And so those two things are in conflict. That's the whole moral of the story is like, okay, these two forces working together is bad for everyone. But other than that, for me, like the rest of it is just good movie making. And again, like when is it? 87 that it came out?
87,
correct.
yes. And I was watching a little documentary before the show started because one thing that okay, my favorite of the two is the Terminator, always will be. But the Terminator did inspire Robocop. Robocop is a totally different sort of animal, but something that I really liked about this upon a rewatch, which I had forgotten, was how awesome Peter Weller was in the movements. In the costume. And I was watching this documentary because I wanted to see, like, how did he... It almost looked like it was CGI'd in a way, the way he moved, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So what he was doing was he was miming.
Yeah.
He
was
was
like Marcel
choreographing his
yeah.
steps. It was so awesome, and he was like moving like a bird, like with his head. You know the way he would turn his head. And
Yeah, no, you
it
turn
was
your
really
head first, and then you follow
and then
with
his
your
body. It was I was really impressed by
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
like that part of it.
That
Yeah,
makeup,
that's true, Sin. That's a good point.
that makeup here, like the way he looks,
I like
that's
that
fucking
too.
amazing.
That was
yes.
really good. Yes.
That looks incredible. It's like
and the stop
disgusting
motion
and
big
looks real.
machine was very intricate
Yeah.
with the wires and
It was
you
cool.
can tell it's
Yeah, the
stop
EV209,
motion, but
yeah.
I was impressed with the way that was done. It was really cool. When they were doing the concept art for him before they started the movie, they were having trouble coming up with something, but then they decided, well, it takes place in Detroit. It's like automaking place, so they just decided to make him sleek because that represented Detroit. The initial sketches for him looked more like Judge Dredd, so they kind of did away
really?
with that. Yeah, I was looking at some of the early concept art. It was really cool. And then how they took the camera, because Peter Weller's not a big guy, and even in the suit, they had to mold the suit around him. He wasn't as impressive as he was supposed to look. So a lot of the shots of Robocop are from a downward angle looking up to make him appear bigger. I just thought these little bits of trivia were really interesting. And the name Robocop, they're like, this is a dumb name. We can't do this. This is stupid. But then they were like, well, we can't think of anything else. We couldn't think of anything better. And they also felt like that a title that basically tells you what the movie is was a good title. So that's why they stuck with Robocop.
It worked.
Yeah, it did work.
I can't think of I can't think of a better title than that.
Do you know how
For this movie.
Peter Weller got the part?
No.
What it was that led it? They were originally thinking to cast Michael Ironside,
Okay.
and they didn't get him. I can't remember what the reason was, but
Peter
Peter
Weller's like
Weller
a-
had
yeah.
recently done Buckaroo Banzai, and it was his performance in that made them grab him. And they were going to have another actress play the part of the girl cop, but she backed out at the last moment, so they had to run and get Nancy Allen really quick.
Yeah, she was easily the worst part of the movie.
And she's,
Where-
I think,
where
in
is
all
she
of them.
from? Why is she so familiar? Was she from
She
in
played
The
in
Exorcist?
Blowout. Have you ever seen? No. Have you seen Blowout with John Travolta?
The hair movie?
No.
It's like a-
No. The movie where he's like a sound guy and he works on sound.
Oh no, I
capturing
haven't seen
sound.
that. Jeez,
And he
Blowout.
accidentally captures a murder in the recording equipment. I think it's is it a De Palma movie? I think that's a De Palma
Sounds
movie.
like it. for
Yeah, I
sure.
remember watching that. Might be the she also played in a movie with Michael Caine. I can't remember that.
Michael Caine.
I always
Michael
have to
Caine.
say
What
his
do you
name that
do
way.
when you fall down, Mr. Wayne?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine was on a talk show one time, and he said, "I hear people imitating me." He says, "I can do it. I can do it too. I'm Michael Caine."
Michael Caine.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's called Dress to Kill. Maybe that was the movie. Okay,
I
sorry.
also noticed that Peter Weller, like when at the beginning of the movie, I was struck by how small he was.
Yeah,
Like-
he's really
like,
little,
he's
yeah.
really skinny and just like I don't know. I just never noticed that at first, or when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Annie, were you gonna say something?
No, I agree. Like I noticed that when he became RoboCop, he was like way bigger.
Yeah, but that's all like half of the weight of him is the costume.
Yeah, and he must be walking on some crazy platforms.
Maybe, yeah.
I liked how he would hold how he would shoot, how he would aim and have that one arm out. Almost like he was, I don't know why.
Counterbalance?
Maybe that's it. But I just was super impressed with the mechanics of how he carried everything off in the suit. I really, really liked his performance.
Yeah.
I also think that the suit looks great.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I think. Does it look like plastic? I think it looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looks like
Helmet a little bit, but
you have
it
to
still
look
does look
hard.
like metal. It does. Like I didn't
did a
feel
good
he
job
was
with that.
probably walking around in plastic, but I didn't think at any point. Like,
They called
that's
it.
plastic.
Oh shoot, they called it something. Maybe it was some type of fiberglass. Oh, I was watching that documentary. It's called. If anybody's interested, there's a documentary called "Flesh Plus Steel: The Making of Robocop," and they talk about what goes in the suit. I don't know that the suit was as heavy as it looks.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it
so it's
definitely
probably a
looks
light
light.
metal,
it
I-
looks
I don't know,
light.
It
to
looks
me.
to me.
maybe like a lithium oxide.
They called
or
it something doggone. I can't remember what they called it.
Was it maybe no? That's probably.
I
too
keep wanting to
expensive.
say fiberglass, but that might not be. That might be totally wrong. And I didn't get a chance to finish
It looks in this image. The more I look at it, the more it looks like it's sprayed and brushed.
Yeah.
Like you can
have to
see the
really look
spraying
at
and
it.
brushing.
Missy is saying you all should definitely review Blowout. Maybe once
Yeah,
we have a
I thought
Blowout
Blowout was
theme.
pretty good. Also, the other movie, Dressed to
I
Kill.
do
I'm
like
trying to think of that.
I
Other
like
movie she was
his.
in.
I liked his butt and hips and thighs. Like
Yeah, he's
they really
a
did a
robot.
nice,
He's a sturdy
nice
robot.
job. Yeah, this very statuesque.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun to rewatch it. It's been many years.
Battle damage.
Yeah.
I remember I had watched RoboCop long time ago, back in the 80s. Then I rewatched it again several years later, maybe like late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember on that rewatch, wow, I had forgotten how banged up he got, like when he got killed, and how brutal that was.
Yeah.
And so when I watched it again this time, it was like, it was painful to watch.
Yeah. No,
and,
I thought that was really well done. Like that.
That guy's a great bad guy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you mean the
guy
dad from
that
the 70s show?
Yes,
him.
the dad from that '70s show.
You know,
He's
for
an
the longest
amazing
time,
guy.
I couldn't watch that 70s show without seeing the villain from this movie.
Yeah. I was gonna comment on him too. He's maybe my favorite part of the movie. That particular
He's
character.
excellent. He's excellent.
He's really good.
So Miguel Ferrer, the dude who got blown up by the grenade, do you guys know who he's related to? I've known this for a
blown
while.
up by the grenade.
He looks like somebody, right? Like
No, he doesn't. He doesn't look at all like this person he's related to.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I don't know.
He died several years ago, actually, which was a little surprising because he wasn't very old. I think
Was it the
only
weird
maybe-
time bomb grenade
It was the one that
where he pulled out the pin with his mouth and put it down?
the guy shot him in the leg. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
he-
yeah,
okay,
Ferrer,
So
yeah,
the
okay.
dude who got shot in the leg.
Yeah, yeah.
You know who he's related to. I
Who?
just find you'll never guess because he
Okay.
doesn't look a bit like him. So his first cousin, is George Clooney.
Oh,
Right.
Well,
You'd
that's-
never know because his mother is
that guy's.
I think
a
his
good
mother's
actor, too.
Rosemary Clooney.
Yeah, yeah, he's good. Pretty much everyone in this is good except for the partner, Aunt Lewis.
Yeah.
Let's see. So one thing that I thought was really interesting that I didn't notice last time was the theme of RoboCop getting gunned down. Right. So how many times does that happen in the movie? So the first time he was a flesh person.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
They tore him down that way. Second time, it was when he goes into the factory where all the dudes are, in all these random places in the drug factory. They have a drugs factory.
The drugs factory.
The drugs factory. Everyone's shooting at him, and it was kind of giving him flashbacks there, but he powered through. But then he got gunned down by the crazy, explosive round sniper rifles. And that was hardcore. I just loved how they kind of kept going back to that sort of focus fire on him. There was another part.
He was in the parking garage. They came after him.
The parking garage. That's right, 4 times. So wait, no, he never really
might
gets
have
hit.
been-
He never really gets hit by the sniper rifles. I'm kind of.
In the parking garage, he
No,
got
he
hit
doesn't
several
garage,
It was
times.
the cops. It was the cops.
It was the cops that came after him.
Yeah.
Yes, and
So that-
she
Oh,
came
right,
up to
right.
him and
So
she saved him. He'd been
that
banged
to me
up
was
pretty
the
bad.
best parallel, because okay, not only was he gunned down by the criminals, after he
His own
becomes
people.
RoboCop,
Yeah.
after he becomes a hero, and everyone
were going after
recognizes
him.
him as a hero, immediately he's expendable enough that all the cops are like, we're gonna just shoot him. You know,
Yeah, but I
so-
feel like a lot of that was just because, well, those cops are just corrupt
Well, it's
too.
politics.
They take, well,
It
no,
was
they're not. They
politics,
take
and-
orders. They
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
like their whole job is do this, do that. So
yeah, there were
you
some
know,
there were some cops that said, no, I'm not gonna do it. Remember, they're like, he's a cop. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right, and so that that moral that showed the parallel between the drug dealers and the cops, and how
Mhm.
in
The
this
supposed good
situation there's
guys.
no line.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. Love toxic waste. I mean, what was it anyway?
It was the
of
80s.
toxic waste.
It was
Like,
80. It's
Oh,
the
that was a
80s.
big thing.
We
you
need
know,
to
toxic
store all
waste.
our toxic waste. Where I guess let's put it in this silo out back.
Yeah, I mean that's where all the real toxic waste is, right?
In
Like,
silos
and yeah,
outside
I mean,
of factories.
yeah,
Like right next, like on the ground, where any kind of accident that
It
happens,
did some
the
damage pretty
toxic
quick
waste is
too.
gonna go
It didn't take
everywhere.
long for him to look like that
To
dude
melt.
from the
Yeah, that
Goonies.
was- that
was
was
the
Right,
most
he
toxic
did. He totally
waste.
did.
Didn't he?
Yes.
That was the most,
I
same-
expected him
same-
to say, "Hey, you guys."
Oh, and then it's like add insult to injury, that whole chain of events, and then he like wanders off, and like you're like, okay, I guess we're done with that guy, right? He
Yeah,
he
but
picks
he's
on the other
back.
guy, he's like, help me, and the other guy's like, get away from me, and I was like, okay, now
Yeah,
he's gonna die.
that
and then
dude-
he didn't die.
You
And
recognize that dude, right?
yeah, he's been in like everything.
Twin Peaks guy.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Let me
He's
pull
the
up his-
dad.
When he-
Are you
when
talking
he
about
had
the tall
colored
dude?
hair.
Dad.
Oh,
When he
Ray
had brown hair.
Wise. Yeah, Ray Wise.
Yeah.
Yes. He also played in the Swamp Thing. That was the first movie I ever
There he
saw
is.
him in. Ray Wise. Yeah.
Oh, the original Swamp Thing,
Yes.
the original '80s movie. Okay.
Yes.
That dude has the only like tan, like it's hilarious.
He's
Yeah,
all
I
over
love
the
that
place.
guy.
I
I
do
love
too.
him.
I
What's
like
the
him
name
a
of the
lot.
dad from that 70s show, the really bad guy?
Kurtwood Smith.
Kurtwood
Kurtwood-
Smith.
Yeah.
Kurtwood Smith.
He's
yeah, He
amazing.
was so good.
Yeah, he was
Um,
very convincing.
And the last thing, I just thought Ed 209 looked great. I loved they did a
Oh,
great
yeah.
job compositing the stop motion animation.
The
Yeah, I
design
like
for
that.
Oh my
sure.
god, this stop motion animation was cracking me up.
And
every
when he
time I
fell down
saw
the
it.
stairs,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like
Dates the
looking for a
movie.
spot on the steps first. He found a spot and then he fell over right away.
Yeah, no,
So
that was
funny.
like that was conceptually so on point. Like so on point.
I
Like,
just,
answer-
I love the
answers a lot
design.
That's
of
one
it.
of those things though that doesn't stand the
Yeah,
test of
it's
time.
great.
Like you can't take it seriously.
No.
You're like, oh,
Stop
this
motion.
is stop
Well,
motion.
stop
This is
motion, it's really
hilarious.
hard to get something like that
Yeah.
to
Oh,
integrate
totally.
with.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
so
even
just,
It's
I don't
then,
know.
definitely impressive for the time. It was like
Yeah.
probably really amazing. It probably hit in this really, powerful way. But like looking at it now, it's like, like it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But that
Um,
makes it better too.
Yeah.
That adds layers. That adds dimensionality to the movie experience.
well, what's really meta though is they had that one commercial with the T-Rex in the city
Oh,
too.
yeah,
And that
yeah,
was
that's right.
Yes.
Stop motion.
And then it was like a car commercial.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
Nukem,
6,000
the Nukem.
sucks. The SUX.
So yeah, that's
Show.
so yeah, that's where. Yeah, there was a lot of really great
Tongue
stuff
in
this movie.
cheek
So
stuff was good.
Yeah, it was
first of all,
satire.
the soundtrack was done, or rather, the score was done by Basil Palladouris, the guy who does. This is I'm gonna start to do like Arnold, 6 Degrees of Arnold separation, right?
Oh boy.
For all these
Real
movies.
quick,
So
love
Basil,
the score. I thought
yeah,
the score was
Basil
amazing.
Palladouris
I did like it too.
Conan. He did Conan.
Oh, okay.
That's
That
the
makes
same
sense.
guy
That
who
infamous
did-
Conan scene, right? I mean, the infamous Conan score. Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
yeah,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun,
I love
yeah.
that.
This was
I
like it
love that
actually when it
score.
dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun
Dun,
dun
dun,
dun, and then the
dun, dun,
hammers.
yeah.
Chong!
Yeah.
Yeah. The what do they call it? The anvil.
Yeah, hammers.
The anvil.
Hammer on anvil. Yeah.
Hammer on it. Yeah, and the commercials, man. Like,
Yeah.
okay, so you had
Big
Nukem,
commercials.
the board
Nukem.
game where you destroy the world. You had, well, that vehicle was called the 6000 SUX.
Yeah,
which
XUX,
is
that's what I
hilarious.
mentioned, yeah,
because
very
it
funny.
probably sucks, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was like kind of an inside joke. The movie makes fun of itself constantly.
It's
Yeah.
very
I buy-
80s self-aware.
It's
Yeah.
very self-aware, like on a really high level, which is really cool. That's what makes it like stand the test of time, are those moments where it's just being human.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, no, this applies no matter what. Like these are things that apply to humanity. The news reports were all like awful disasters. What
Oh
is it?
my
One of,
gosh.
one of Reagan's like laser satellites destroyed a whole like field. There was like all these interesting news in the background but also the state of the world, man. The corporation like bought the city to create the infrastructure. Look at Cop City. That's like literally happening right now. Corporations just all paid, huge corporations paid to have this thing built, which is essentially the analog of this. You have Atlas, you have the robot dogs that are supposedly patrolling the streets. I haven't seen one in person yet, but apparently in NY, New York, they have robot dogs now, and they're
Oh.
gonna give them. And they're
I
gonna give
hadn't
them
heard
guns.
about this. What?
Maybe they're just testing them, and they're not like out there. But I heard that they were already like buying. So I don't know, like the Boston. And apparently they're gonna have guns. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but
I have heard talk of robot like cop type things having guns or robot soldiers having guns.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I'm
They
like,
are
does
dogs then.
nobody watch the Terminator? What are you
which is
thinking?
absolutely awful.
Don't do that.
And then his Frankenstein analog story, right? The whole like he was created, but he's kind of trying to figure out who he is, and meanwhile being ostracized by his community.
Right.
I was
And
sure
then-
that his partner was going to be turned into a Robocop too, and then they were just going to be together.
You Robocops together.
Oh no.
Aren't you glad that did not happen?
That would have totally
Yeah.
sucked if that happened. No.
One of the most memorable scenes for me growing up was the montage of them working on him. It for some reason that left a
yeah.
huge impression on me of it was his POV. This is like how we
POV.
play games. This was
Yeah.
ahead of a first person shooter. And
Yeah.
you don't really think about it, but when we play those games now, it's exactly the same. I'm sure I've played a game that was almost identical, where somebody's, the camera's framed just the eye line.
There's also a
and
movie
people are
called
walking
that.
in and out of it.
There's a movie called Hardcore Henry that
Yeah.
takes.
Oh,
yeah,
all
that was a
from the
great. That
POV.
was.
That's a
I
good.
And
haven't
then that's
seen
like the
that.
whole
I'm just-
movie of that one
Yeah.
scene. But that scene, it touched on all the stuff you would want. You know what I mean? Like it's just so interestingly how perfectly edited it was. Like every scene that was significant and had something in it that was interesting. Even if you didn't like the movie, or if it was goofy, or it was definitely edited really
was
nice.
well
It was
done.
very
Where
efficiently
you didn't
paced.
feel-
Yes.
You didn't. You always felt like there was something. They were always grabbing at something interesting. It wasn't ever
No
fluffy or weird. And
there
and,
wasn't
and it
fat
was
on
it
it.
was over the top violent. I think for the time it was. I don't know. I mean, they make movies like that now too, right? Like that are just absolutely ridiculously bloody.
Yeah.
But it was definitely hard boiled in that way.
Renfield.
And then and the performances, Ronnie Cox's performance, absolutely amazing. Just so
Wait.
memorable.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Dick
said that this
Jones.
was a role that was not typical for him. He did not play this type of person. So this was like a.
This- for me, this is
like
him.
before. Yeah.
This is him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so all these like performances, and it's funny, I didn't realize how much I watched the movie until I watched it again, and I was just like, oh yeah, like I watched this too much as a kid. That was the other thing, is I was watching this as a kid, like I shouldn't have been watching. It's like awful. It was a kids movie in a weird way. They made a cartoon afterwards.
Yep.
I
and,
had
like,
the fucking
It
toys.
was
for
a
sure.
kid's
yeah,
movie in a weird-
it was a kids movie,
That's
even
kinda
though it was
like
absolutely ridiculously violent.
So violent. So violent.
And Peter Weller's performance as RoboCop was very superhero-esque. Like it
Well, he
felt
had a
like-
really good facial structure for being in the helmet, I think.
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
true.
I really
True.
like that. But speaking of Peter Weller, so I don't know if did you guys see the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2?
Yes, he did
Part
the
one
voice
and
of
two.
He's
somebody.
the voice of Batman,
Of
and I
Batman.
was unimpressed.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I did not like
I was
him
really
as the
upset with that.
Batman.
I was.
It's
pretty
hard
upset
to
with that.
replace
Kevin
to replace-
Conroy, you
Yeah.
can't, for one thing. Peter Weller has a very unique voice, but he did
Yeah.
not fit
He
that
didn't
role.
do good. I didn't like it either.
Sorry, that's a rant about
Yeah,
Peter. I mean, I
don't-
like
but
him
I don't
fine
like
as an
most
actor.
I don't like most of the Batman voices. Like
Me
I
neither.
still haven't settled on anyone that I was like, oh, you know what? Now,
Kevin
then
Conroy.
they traded around too. Like it's like when after Kevin Conroy kind of broke the mold, it's like Optimus Prime. It's like anybody could do the voice after that, and it just won't.
It will
it
not
just,
measure
somebody's
up.
got to do it, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to
Yeah.
do Batman. You
I don't
can't
know
just
why they
leave
didn't
it.
get Kevin Conroy for this part, though. This movie
Well-
is years old. This movie is 2013.
Yeah,
it was probably
maybe
budget.
he was busy or old or tired or who knows. You know,
Budget. Okay,
probably a good reason.
I feel like this is a good stopping point. Let's
Yes.
get our rating numbers.
Let's
Done.
robo stop.
Annie, you want to go first? Out of 10.
Oh, I'd give it like yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. It's a good film. I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Whoa, that surprises the hell out of me.
8.5.
As much as you ragged
I
on
mean,
it at the
well,
beginning.
I think it's dumb as fuck, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. You know, like you said, it's very self-aware. You know, like it,
No,
it
I was wondering if we were going to
And
be able
it's
to talk you
very
out
well
of your
done.
feelings. That's funny.
Okay,
Yes,
that surprised me. You rated it higher
well,
than
you
I
know-
did, Annie.
No, I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's really well done. I think like it hit the mark of what it was going for very well. But I
Sin?
fucking hate gratuitous violence. But I'm not going to hold that against the film because it's good. You know, like I can tell that Tarantino movies are masterpieces, even though
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
They
she just
dri-
liked the booty.
you know, I did like the booty. I like that robot booty.
Oh,
Stay out
did,
of. Hey,
did any
Robocop,
of
you
you
want to tell the
guys-
kids anything?
Yeah,
yeah.
stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.
That's amazing. Okay, what do you think, Ahmed? What was yours? What was your rating?
Oh, I had to give it. I have to give it less than Annie. Like, how did
Well,
this happen?
yeah, I would rate
give
it
it a
less than
7.
you.
It's
7?
I love it. It's nostalgic, but at the same time, it's it's not my favorite movie by any standard, by any like.
Yeah, but is that how you rate it? So you rate it based off of how much you like it, or like you'd want to watch it again? Or
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
you can use
That's
whatever.
kind of where I
don't
put
know. You
ratings.
can use whatever metric
yeah,
you
for
want.
myself.
My metric
Exactly,
has to
it's
do with me comparing
individual.
because I watched a lot of movies as a kid,
Yeah.
and so my metric is based on the metric of liking other movies.
Right.
So like because I watched so many, there's so many more ahead of it.
Well, I feel like
that
I have
see.
I have to
you
have
know?
like 2 metrics then. You know, like as a personal metric, I would give it like a 4. You know.
No, that is the metric. That's it. You gave it a 4. That's.
But
the
I
true
don't
score
think
you
that's
gave it.
fair. Like I
No,
think it's a
fair.
better
Well,
movie
I
than
mean,
a 4.
It's your
That's-
opinion. It doesn't have to be fair.
Well, if she
It
wants-
doesn't like you can accept or acknowledge that it's technically very good, but that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
would be your personal rating. Like I recognize that The Green Knight was beautifully shot and very beautifully acted, but I think that was a shit movie. I hated it.
I don't think it
So-
was even beautifully anything.
I think it was.
I feel the same
I think there
I
was
feel
a
the
lot
same
of
about The
gorgeous
Northman.
and like John Wick, the choreography was excellent. It was very well done, but there was too much wrong with that movie for me to give it a high score. So it's all about how you personally feel about it, I think.
Wait, so Annie, have you changed your score to 4?
I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. But I definitely never want to watch that movie again.
Well, there you go.
Ahmed? We'll
I give
come
it a
back.
7.
We'll come back to you.
I give it
Okay,
a
7.
7.
Sin.
I would give it a 7 to a 7.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay. 'Cause you
Maybe
like-
I don't know.
Hey,
9.
did the-
Satire
I'll go
got
9.
you.
I'll go.
Did
9.
the
Satire.
dude with the cackle not get on your nerves? That guy got on my. Oh my gosh! I wanted him
man,
to shut up so
but he only
bad.
did it like
they
3
they were
times.
so.
He did
they
it
were
all
so
the time.
extra.
Every
he did it
time
all the time.
you
Every
had
time he
it, that
grabbed
was
the
over
gun.
the top. Yeah, it
I
was
think
so. That
he
was
was
so over the
directed
top
to
and
do
ridiculous.
that because people don't.
Probably.
I'm sure
there
he
was
was.
a lot.
It was terrible.
They were so gangy, like over the top gangy, like
Yeah,
like
they were-
more
yeah.
gangy than any gang member ever needs.
Yeah,
to be.
exactly. It was.
Yeah,
it was
the
ridiculous.
hyena, the laughing hyena.
Yeah,
gang.
Yeah,
everything's a
that's what I'm
joke. We're
talking about.
killing people, and everything's
That
a
was
joke.
so dumb. But like
Oh, yeah.
again, it fit well
It's
with
fun
the
to kill people.
self-awareness of the movie. I think Bill gave me good advice, and he said to split the difference.
Yeah, split the difference.
Oh,
I think
6.
that's
So 6.
smart. Yeah.
So like a
6.25.
6.
Oh, I love
6.25.
this. I love this. I just
6.25,
thank you for directing my eyes at this. This is beautiful. Exactly.
6.5
I
is
agree,
an
Bill.
adult. My inner child. gives
My
it a
child gets
12.5.
I agree, Bill.
12.5.
Yes, I agree. It's definitely, for me, it's nostalgic because I saw it when I was a kid, and it was actually, there was a lot, surprisingly, being a kid and watching this, like still like, being very into it, but into like more into the Robocop parts, like more into like the costume and the
Right.
cool gun and knowing things like this. Did you know that the gun, like the lore, right? Because this is the stuff when you read as a kid or you read the comic, and you're like, because you want to know more about Robocop.
Yeah.
The gun actually fed all the ammos in his arm. And so the gun,
Oh, interesting.
that's why he never reloads. He just and never runs out of bullets.
Oh, that's cool.
So
I
that's
did
just
not
a
know
fun
that.
little, nerdy little,
No,
for
but
you
that's
guys
cool
to chew
though.
on.
That's cool trivia.
Yeah, it's like this tiny little, but yeah, he's like, it attaches and then it feeds all these the bullets out of his arm, and yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Bill says the gun twirl was the thing I loved.
Yeah,
Of course.
TJ.
Yep.
And then he puts it in his leg,
But
and
it-
it
I
just
like
goes.
that.
It goes safely in his leg, very tidy, very cool to look at. Like, the leg opening up and the gun and. So as a kid, like that was it. That was like.
But that part is cool. That was a really cool design.
Although
I like that
RoboCop
too.
2, did anybody see RoboCop 2?
I did as a
I've
kid, and I
seen
think
it,
I
but
saw
I
it
don't
even
remember.
more than I
That's
saw it
even
the first time.
darker than
Yeah,
this one.
I wanna
It's
see it now.
so dark, and somehow I remember walking out of the theater after seeing that one, like just like not because it's just darkness. It's so
I want to see it again now. It's gonna be
So
my
basically,
extra-
Andy, just
my
so you know,
extra
they
credit assignment.
instead of using a cop, they decide because a cop's too unstable because of his desire for justice, we need a drug addict, like somebody that's a drug addict criminal. And so they make a RoboCop out of a drug addict. And
Oh,
the
I
drugs,
totally forgot that.
the drugs were like a giant canister of drugs that he
Oh,
would
yeah.
like. The
They
giant
look like
robot.
candy corn.
Yeah, and like he
drugs
wanted
look
it.
like
All
candy
he
corn.
wanted was the drugs, and that's how you controlled him. And then he would
Oh,
take the drugs and
gosh.
stick them in him and get high and start killing things.
Oh yeah. Okay, I gotta
That
see
was
that one. I gotta see that one
darkness.
soon. That's gonna be.
Absolute
I don't
piece
remember
of-
anything about RoboCop 2 or 3.
Okay,
Oh.
so 3. I'm not even gonna bother with. But the
Don't bother.
second
But two's got some.
I'm gonna see that. That's my extra
It's
credit.
got some
assignment.
bones. That one's
The
got
extra
some
credit.
bones.
What movie are we reviewing next?
Yeah, didn't we determine this already?
Oh, we did, and I forgot.
Fuck.
No,
I feel like I need to.
no. It was.
Was it Ex Machina?
Yes.
No,
Ex
no.
Machina.
Was it Megan?
Megan.
Yes.
it was Megan.
Yes,
Megan.
it was Megan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a proposal. We can retroactively do a Chrysalis one for next week and do Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh. Okay. I'm down.
Oh.
So an
But
SBT
wait, do
next
we
week?
not? Are we not doing?
No,
Not
no,
next
no,
week,
no.
but the week
No,
after.
the next
the
one, the
next
24th.
one.
So we are doing Megan,
Yes, Megan is.
We will.
and
You
then
know,
we'll
we
do
we have
Honey, I
plenty
Shrunk
of
the Kids
weeks
after
left. We have
that.
three more SCAFT themed SBTLs.
So
to
instead
do.
of SCAFT theme, it'll be the ants,
Frank
and then Megan will be the next one.
Frank Moore says ants. I no. It's that movie's too good. We can't. There's nothing to talk about.
I have never seen it. It's good.
Yeah, ants is really good. Yeah.
So wait, we're doing Honey, I Shrunk the Kids next.
I'm
Because of the
nominating that.
ant.
I'm nominating that for.
Yeah,
Chrysalis.
that's a good ant one, far enough away in my mind that like
Yeah.
I remember I remember there was a lot of props. I
If
remember
I'm
that
gonna
being
watch
a
that
big deal
giant
about that
Oreo
movie.
scene. It's gonna.
Yeah, it was
make
like
me
they had a lot of
binge
giant
on
props.
Oreos.
They had like a giant ant head, and they had like giant milk cartons, and they walked
That is-
around a tiny world, a giant world.
It's great. Yeah. It's
The
great.
Oreo for me is 100% the most memorable part of that movie.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
I liked Megan too, William.
Okay.
Bill.
So are we?
If
Yes.
you want to, we
Honey,
can,
I
we
Shrunk
can
the
do
Kids.
that.
Kids 2 weeks from now.
And then we'll
And
do
then Megan.
Megan after. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Set. Thank you. This has been an excellent cinema.
Yeah. Word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
You're peacing out. All right.
All right.
Bye,
Later,
Annie.
Hope you
Thank
feel
for
better,
coming in and
Annie.
Talking
Thanks.
about RoboCop with us.
Thank you for having me. Bye,
All
guys.
right.
Bye.
So, all we got left some damn troll polls.
Yeah. So what do we
Damn
have
troll
today? We have
polls,
I'm
okay.
the bad guy. I'm the bad guy too.
I'm the bad guy too. All right.
I'm the bad guy. Arrival. I think. Which is I'm the bad guy too. But just some authors they do two, and some authors do colon,
Mm,
and then
yes.
another name. How we sift through books all the time that they do colon instead of two, or so it's I think this is one of those.
Okay, I'm trying to find that one.
Unfortunately, I checked our feed and there was not another poll between.
Oh, there wasn't. Okay, so
yeah,
just the
we,
one.
Yeah. So we saved the week.
Do you have anything else? What for bad guy? Anything else? Because my bad guy search is not doing well.
Oh, the bad guy 2. I'm the bad guy 2 by Kenneth Arendt.
I'm the bad guy. By who? Kenneth Arendt?
Yes,
We'll do that.
I hope.
Okay, I'm the bad guy too. Sample 1 or sample 4? Does it say? There's one that says troll killing. There's one that says duel and bacon. And I feel like I've done one of these. Okay.
Oh wait. Oh,
I'm sure
didn't
I've
do the
done
bacon
one of
one
these
yet.
before. Let's see.
I don't think it was the bacon. I think the bacon is what was on the poll.
Okay.
I think it was duel and bacon. But then that's also very memorable. So hang on, let me take a look real quick. I'm pretty sure it's duel and bacon.
Okay. All right, so this is a troll poll. That means I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to have fun with it. And kind of do whatever I want. Let's see. And if I'm looking at the duel and bacon scene, and just Ahmed, let me know as soon as if you find any evidence that it should be the other scene.
Bye, Bill.
Well, I'm getting
Billy.
down to it now. Here we are. Duel and bacon scene.
Yep. Okay. So the MC is a 13-year-old male named Aaron Ulvani. His normal voice is slightly lower pitched than most
I'm in
boys
a
his
room of
age.
us.
Though from a normal family, he speaks very plainly and is usually quite direct. Okay. Kami Ziral, 13-year-old girl. Her voice is warm and friendly. She's intelligent and sounds like it, but she's also a bit of a tomboy. She and Aaron are best friends, and a little more. Richard Bender, 13-year-old male. His voice is higher than Aaron's. Richard thinks very highly of himself, too arrogant for his own good. Okay. Teacher, male in his 50s. His voice is also fairly high-pitched. He's a snooty teacher at Aaron's school. Like Richard, he has more pride than sense. And Lucas Malkfey, 13-year-old male. His voice is average. Lucas is proud of his family and their heritage. Unlike Richard, he can usually back up his arrogance with his magical prowess. He dislikes Aaron primarily due to a rivalry their fathers shared, which ended with Lucas's father losing his arm. Pretty sure Lucas Malkfey is a stand-in for another character that you guys probably know his name.
Wait, I can't remember his first name. You're talking about Harry Potter, aren't you?
Sounds like Lucas.
What's Malfoy's name?
It starts with an L.
I can't remember.
U.
Lucius?
C. There we go.
Lucius Malfoy?
Malfoy.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
The little kid with the white hairs?
Yeah,
name?
yeah, that little shit.
His name is Lucius? It is
Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, Lucius is his dad, right?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Dad,
Draco.
son,
That's what it is. Thank you.
Same thing. Okay. Blurb. Having grown tired of trying to be liked by everyone, Aaron decides to have fun with the constant duels. He comes across as cocky and arrogant, but that's due to his newfound self-confidence and the knowledge that most of the student body are unskilled and unused to fighting. All right, so just because I'm used to it for today, I'm going to narrate as Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders. And then I'm going to do all I'm going to just take all of the direction from all these characters and turn them to 11. So here goes. Oh, no, wait, this is first person. Never mind. I can't do the Peaky Blinders guy.
Sample 4, Chapter 18.
Oh, wait. So he's supposed to have a slightly lower voice for a 13-year-old boy. Okay, so I think I can. I'll just do Cillian Murphy as a 13-year-old boy. Sample 4, Chapter 18. I stared up at the cloudy winter sky. Every breath partially obscured my view as the frigid air rendered it visible to the naked eye. The only good thing about waking up at the ass crack of dawn to go for my usual run was the sight of the morning sun painting the sky.
Begin!
I heard someone yell. What was I doing again? I glanced down and saw a first-year boy with neon blue hair weaving his hands through a complex pattern that periodically spawned odd sigils in the air around him. Oh, right. Dipstick was waiting to challenge me to a duel, and my eyes shifted to the teacher, but I didn't know his name. The teacher couldn't have been long graduated. The mousy 20-something looked the kind of guy you'd see on the Your Neighbor's a Serial Killer TV shows. Bowl cut? Check. Scrawny? Check. Bloodshot eyes? Check. Seriously, what was his name again? I want to say Manson?
Hi-ora! Drown my adversaries in the waters of justice!
The boy screamed dramatically. Dude, that's your contract phrase. All arcanists had a phrase or keyword that called forth their contracted spirit. I wasn't faulting him there. I mean, it was still stupid to call out your move in the midst of battle, but whatever. I didn't make the rules, but the arcanists picked their contract phase. So, that embarrassing crap he just spouted, yeah, he had chosen to do it willingly. Summoning is so much simpler. I quickly went through the motions to summon my gate, and completed it while he was still in the middle of drawing sigils in the air. Hey! I waved at my challenger, who was so surprised by my action that he lost focus and the sigils vanished into thin air. Sorry, but would you pick a number between 1 and 3 for me? Don't listen to him, Richard. He's trying to distract you, the teacher interjected. No, I'm serious. Would you mind picking a number for me?
Why?
Richard frowned at me. Let's call it an experiment, I replied with a smile. I like how this 13-year-old boy is like almost coming off with James Bond vibes. But when they both kept frowning at me, I sighed and explained a little more detail. It's how many minutes you think I'll last against you. I found that asking this question before a fight tells me a lot about my opponent. Oh, and what's your name? I asked while pulling a small notebook out of my back pocket. It came with an ever-inked quill the same size as one of those little pencils you pick up at a mini golf course. I'd bought the notebook for a single cert, the coin denomination just below towels, last week, and I'd taken to writing down the names of the people who challenged me. That way, if they did win, I could find them again. Both teacher and student smirked at my answer, which I was beginning to find extremely annoying.
Richard Bender, and I only need 1 to kick your ass.
Dipstick sneered. Richard Bender? I ignored the taunt and smiled at him, perhaps a little too widely since his sneer grew more pronounced. Thanks for participating in my survey. I'll be sure to use your feedback for everything it's worth. I jotted down his name in the notebook, and I threw in his declaration for fun. Maybe I should start keeping track of the insults hurled at me. I can't imagine I'll hear the same ones over and over, so I should get some fun ones out of it. Okay, sorry about that. You may proceed. I motioned for him to continue, while mentally calling for my dueling summon to exit the gate. Without needing another prompt, a basketball-sized slime leaped out of the portal and landed between us. Ready? I asked the slime, who didn't respond physically or mentally. Instead, it began to meander toward me, my opponent, in the way that all slimes do. by squishing itself into a relatively tight ball and rolling forward. Richard saw this and began to laugh.
I knew you were pathetic, but a slime? What, were they out of pixies and fairies?
I quirked an eyebrow in his direction. I wasn't sure if it was a reference I wasn't getting or if he was really just that ignorant. In the world of GFA, all Fae were vicious little mongrels who would sooner strip the flesh from your bones and use them to build a new house than serve as a mage's familiar. Then again, imps were the same way, and I had a few hundred of them. I wouldn't laugh if I were you. You might piss it off, I finished in a quiet voice.
Oh, right, because I'm so scared of a stupid, insignificant slut. What in the name of the divines is that?
Dipstick shouted in a shaking voice. Something I didn't immediately realise, but which should have been obvious from the get-go, was the fact that if you crammed two slimes into a room, they would fuse into a smarter, even more powerful slime. And that fact held true no matter how many slimes you crammed into a room. Was I at 40 or 50 slimes the last time I checked? Bah, doesn't matter at this point. Can't do anything to stop it now. Might as well keep feeding it and see what happens. With every insult flung from Richard's mouth, the slime's body shifted, growing larger and larger until it was the size of a horse. Then it grew arms. Each arm was long and thin, like a tentacle that ended in a huge fist resembling a boxing glove. Did I know why it looked like that? Nope. I didn't have the slightest clue. Did I care? Hell no. Don't say I didn't warn you. I shrugged my shoulders and took a few steps back. Richard tried to call upon his contracted spirit, but the slime wasn't as patient as I was. It banged its huge fists on the ground 3 times, then let out a weird gurgling noise that I could only assume was meant to be a roar before stretching an arm high into the air above Richard's head. I wonder if they've started serving breakfast yet. I let out a loud yawn as I stepped into the cafeteria. The sight of my fellow students dampened my mood a tad, though that was offset by the smell of hazelnut coffee, freshly fried eggs, and honey-smoked bacon. Despite the frowns directed at me, I was smiling. I turned as I heard the door open behind me and stepped aside as Richard came limping through, accompanied by the teacher whose name I still hadn't learned.
Hey there, Richard. I'm going to get some coffee. Want some? No, thanks, he grumbled quietly. My father says coffee will stunt my growth. Something about it interfering with my link to the spirits.
Maybe so, but hey, maybe if you'd had some coffee before our duel... Oh no, it's supposed to be Killian again. Maybe so, but hey, maybe if you'd had some coffee before our duel, you could have gotten those spells out a little quicker. I elbowed him playfully, then walked off toward the food. I heard some grumbling from him and whispered insults from the teacher, but I didn't care. I was tired of pretending to be someone I wasn't. It had done me no favours over the last few months, so why bother? The moment I reached the buffet line, I grabbed a pair of plates and started piling food on top of them. 3 eggs, 9 strips of bacon, and a bowl of mystery oatmeal split between the 2 plates. I didn't really mind what was inside it. It smelled good. And sometimes it's better not to know what you're eating until you've tried it. You're more likely to find new flavours that you like if you just get your head out of the way and try a bite. After grabbing a few slices of a strange red fruit that looked like a cross between an apple and a banana, I poured myself a steaming mug of bean juice. Taking that first sip was like achieving nirvana.
This is a 13-year-old.
What? Why?
Well, you voiced him appropriately.
I know.
Oh man, I love how inappropriate the voice is for a 13-year-old, but how appropriate it is for the character. It's great.
Funny.
A boyish voice called out from behind me. At least he waited until I got my coffee.
I mean, like, it's like a 40-year-old person.
I turned round and greeted someone I'd only seen in passing since before I arrived at the academy months ago. He'd been on his best behaviour since my dad and his dad got into a little scuffle. The shorter blonde boy with a permanent scowl on his face was Lucas Malkfey, son of Duke Thomas Malkfey. According to the anime, Thomas and Ulfric were rivals in their academy years, and that rivalry, unfortunately, continued long after graduation, though it was mostly one-sided. Everything my father did, Thomas attempted to one-up. When Ulfric became a lieutenant during the last war, Thomas was promoted to captain a month later. When my father was granted the title of Duke after his contributions in the war, Thomas used his inheritance to buy the title of Duke from the last member of a dying noble lineage. On and on their rivalry went, until it eventually passed on to Aaron and Lucas, though the script had been flipped between Lucas and Aaron, especially since Lucas could use magic and Aaron could not. Lucas and his friends used to bully the hell out of Aaron, but that all came to a stop after I took over, though. It did escalate a bit further than I'd wanted. Ulfric and Thomas ended up dueling for our family's honour. After thoroughly trouncing Thomas, Ulfric made him swear to keep Lucas and his henchmen away from me. And to my surprise, it had worked. At least until this moment. "Hey, Lucas! Long time no see. How have you been, man?"
Ugh. Don't speak to me like we're friends. I still hate your guts.
Duly noted. Lucas rolled his eyes at my apathetic tone.
Whatever. I'm looking for the princess. Have you seen her?
No. She should be here soon, though. You're welcome to join me at my table and wait on her. I waggled the second plate in front of his face. I'm sure she'll find her way to the bacon. My words were cut off by Cammy swooping in out of nowhere and taking the plate out of my hands. Told you, I muttered. I forget who Cammy is. Cammy is the 13-year-old girl. Her voice is warm and friendly. Got it.
Morning, Malkfey. Got the thing?
Malkfey gave me a sour look, then reached into his robe and procured a plain white envelope.
Delivered just this morning. I'm assuming you're never going to tell me what's actually in these envelopes, are you? Nope. Have a good morning, Malkfey. That's good bacon. Did you get any for yourself?
She asked, rolling directly into the next conversation while we walked toward our usual table. I grinned down at her and held my plate high above her head. You may be the princess, but don't start thinking that entitles you to my bacon.
Are you challenging my authority?
Absolutely not. I would never challenge your authority. I would, however, question if you could reach the plate. Shorty.
Shorty?
Sorry, had to do it. That got a reaction out of her. Cammy narrowed her eyes at my face, then looked me up and down.
I don't know. I think I could probably bring you down to my level.
Before I could react, Cammy's hand snaked out and grabbed the front of my robe. She pulled me down until our eyes were level. A devilish smirk appeared on her face.
Told you.
Quick as a whip, Cammy let go of my robe, snatched the other plate from my hand, and sat it on the empty table. "Oh, you think you're funny, do you?" I asked as I sat down on the bench next to her.
Funnier than you. Prettier and smarter too, now that I think about it.
True, all of that is true. But can you do this? I said dramatically as I pointed to my nose, which I then proceeded to wiggle back and forth. Cammy snorted and opened the envelope Lucas had given her. I used the distraction to quickly steal back my plate and start eating before she realized I'd made off with the pork-flavoured gold.
Aaron?
You're not getting my bacon back.
Not that. Here, read this and make sure you're not obvious about it,
she said, plopping a letter on the table in front of me. There it is. That's the end. All right, that's the show. Thank you so much to Mr. Kenneth Arendt for requesting your bacon to be shat upon. I'm the bad guy. That even hold on. Can we bring that back up? That even looks like maybe like a young Cillian Murphy.
You definitely got him on the brain, I think.
Yeah, but I like that voice though. I like it. Reminds me a lot of the voice used for Hellblazer as well.
Yeah, well, with that one, yeah, it's the same accent, right? It's like the sort of Birmingham Northern English, sort of close to Wales type of thing. But I think with Constantine, I used like way more gravel. It was more high pitched. But that's about it. Yeah. Word. It's a good voice. It's a good accent.
Yeah,
so thank you, Cillian Murphy,
good.
for making Peaky Blinders.
This one's for Cillian Murphy.
This one's for Cillian. Yeah, guys. All right, so that's our show for today. Thank you so much for everybody who came to hang out with us. Thank you guys for watching Robocop with us. I hope that was what you did over the weekend. Be sure over the next 2 weeks to watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, because there are ants in it.
Yes, there are.
That's the basis that we decided.
That we decided.
He's in an ants mood.
And yeah,